You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
We are about to get started with our Training Thursday show. Today's topic is how to get better results by skipping the scale and doing this instead. So what I want to do right now is share with you exactly. I want to go really in depth, and this will help everybody who's trying to get in better shape, really transform their body from the inside out, if you'd like to think of it that way. But also it's going to help the health practitioners out there, the personal trainers, the nutritionists as well. Because right now, we're working with our clients, what happens is sometimes we get fixated on that scale. And you out there as well listening may be doing the same thing. Like, well, how did I only lose a half a pound this week? Or how did I not lose weight this week? How did I gain a pound? I'm doing the right things. Well, are you? That's what I want to look at as well. So I don't want to always get fixated at that scale because there's so much more that goes into it than simply stepping on that. Like that's literally the worst measurement, I would say, because doing a body composition, looking at your body fat versus muscle versus, weight gain, water weight gain, any one of those things, those are better measurements. But really even before that, that's kind of like the icing on the cake. That's the end result. What I want to do is I want to measure what's more important than just stepping on that scale. Right? So stepping the scale is more like what I call like the symptom, right? Okay, we lost the weight, we didn't lose the weight, what's going on? And yesterday, hopefully you tuned in, I talked about the 10 things that will make you sick, fat, and depressed. Really, I thought it was an important show to really get out to people the 10 things that they may not be thinking about right now that greatly affect their health, their weight gain or weight loss ability to do that, and their mood overall. And I ended with talking about how you measure results. And today I want to share with you those results. So when someone comes to us for body transformation, we have over a dozen great personal trainers and fitness professionals at my 2 locations in Boston. And one of the things that we do is this. They come in and we say, we're going to do weigh-ins as long as you're okay with that. But what we want to say is this, we're going to do the weigh-ins only to show the end result of the other things that you're putting in terms of work. So we're going to I like to do a Monday and Friday weigh-in. I've spoke about that on a previous Cabral concept as well. We do the Monday and Friday weigh-ins, and we do that because a lot of people lose a couple pounds by Friday. But then when Monday rolls around, they've gained it back. And they've gained it back maybe because of 48 hours of cheat meals, right? Of having 2, 3, or 4 meals instead of 1 cheat meal, and they've gained that weight back. So if we only did Monday weigh-ins, well, we would see that basically the client looks like they've never lost any weight. But if we do a Monday weigh-in, they've lost a couple pounds then by Friday, and then they've gained the weight back. We can say, okay, something's going on over the weekend that's causing you to basically start at square one every single Monday. So what do we need to do? And then we go through the protocol to help them with those specific things and teach them about how often they can do cheat meals, all those different things. That's what we teach. So I think that's pretty helpful for most people. And you'll learn that too by doing something like the Dr. Ball Detox or any of the protocols we offer, because we always start with the first 21 days, which is so crucial to helping people transform their health and their body as well. But what do we do though to track other measurements? Because it's so much more important than the scale. Because again, the scale will always change if you're tracking these other measurements. And I'm going to go through those now. So when our personal trainers work with a client, here's what they do. Every single workout, they have a clipboard. So old school, they have a clipboard and a printout of the client's program. That means their workout program. And every single number is tracked, meaning that the date they came in, of course, they're weighing above, sure, but the date they came in, all their exercises and their weights, meaning like how much weight that they're moving. So if they're doing, let's say, a squat. Okay, well, doing a squat, let's say they did a front squat and they're holding 2 15-pound dumbbells on top of their shoulders, a little bit to the front, so it's a true front squat. They're looking at their form. Everything is the same. The only thing that changes is that weight. Well, each week, we want the client to progress in weight for 4 weeks before we switch up that workout. So now we're tracking their increase called the specific adaptation to opposed demands. That's called the SAID principle. Again, I've spoken about this before. Why is it important? Because if you are constantly pushing your body to that next level, again, not crushing it, not destroying your body, not taking it to total exhaustion, so you're lying on the floor, making like sweat angels on the ground, not to that extent, but you're pushing your body each and every week. When that happens, you're transforming your metabolism in the long run, right? So we're playing the short-term game with nutrition to lose the weight, but the long-term game we're getting in that exercise. So we're tracking the weights, right? But we're also tracking the exercises. We're not making things up. We have this specific set of exercises, and we do those, I should say, for 4 weeks in a row. And then we switch it up those next 4 weeks. And then we switch it up again those next 4 weeks. So we work up to a point where we're kind of maxed out in weights, and then we move on to the next set of exercises. This does not allow women to bulk up or anything like that. That's not how it works. But what it allows for is for a little bit of tissue breakdown and a little bit of rebuilding stronger. When that happens, there's going to be more metabolic demand. All right? So really, really important. That's how we track our weights. But then also outside of our workouts, because let's say the average client trains with us twice a week, anywhere between 1 and 3 times is pretty normal. Typically it's twice a week, usually sometimes 3 times a week. But then outside of that, well, there's still another 4 days, right? So what do we do for those other 4 or 5 days? Well, we need to make sure that they're getting in some type of interval-based training. So we write that down. Okay, how many interval-based workouts did you get in this week? Okay, and how many intervals did you do per workout? Was it 5? Was it 6? It doesn't need to be 10. If you've never done intervals before, do 5. 5 is a lot better than 0, right? Fantastic. You want to do 5 rounds of mountain climbers before you leave the house in the morning? Good. That's something. You got an interval workout, we'll take it. And then we're also tracking their steps. Did you hit your 10,000 steps per day? In my opinion, unless you have an injury or mobility-based issue, there's no excuse for never getting 10,000 steps per day. Like, honestly, that's human movement. We don't need it just for weight loss. We don't need it just for metabolism. We need that for wellness. I mean, that improves mood. That improves digestion. If you're not getting 10,000 steps per day, you have to track that to make sure you are. And then here's what you can do. Quick walk at lunchtime, after lunch for a little digestion, quick walk after dinner as well. You can say, oh, well, I have kids, I have this, I have that. Take everybody out. Get everybody out. Get a dog. Take the dog for a walk with the whole family. Put the kids on scooters, whatever you need to do. Put the kids, strap them in if they're young. Carry them around the block. Whatever you need to do, you need to get those 10,000 steps per day. It's so incredibly important. Okay, so we track that. We're also tracking sleep. So we're saying, are you getting 8 hours of sleep per night? They say, no, I'm averaging like 5 to 6. Well, we say, well, okay, well, here's the deal. If you want to transform your body, whether it's gaining muscle or losing body fat, or maybe even both, if you're not getting 8 hours of sleep per night, typically, and this is shown in research studies as well, you're going to have higher levels of glucose, so higher levels of blood sugar. And that's upon waking as well. Your fasting glucose will be a little higher. Why does that matter? The higher your glucose, the higher your blood sugar, the less body fat burning there is. Plain and simple. Your body's very happy to use that sugar being in your blood right now, to use that as fuel. No problem at all. But also we know that those cell receptors are taking up as much of that glucose as possible. Mitochondria aren't working as well. They're probably a little bit taxed in terms of not getting the nutrition they need. So we're looking at sleep as well. They say, well, I can't get 8 hours of sleep. Well, if you're getting 5.5, 6 right now, can you give me 6.5, 7? Again, we don't necessarily need perfection, but what we need is improvement. Because if you plan on doing the same exact thing and hoping for a different result, it's going to be a real challenge. And we don't lie to people. That's not our job. We're not marketers. We are people. We're true health coaches, meaning that we don't care if you've never gotten results in the past. We are getting you results. Bottom line. My team knows that. It doesn't matter if a client's never lost weight before. I just had someone email me. They're a private wellness client of mine, but again, they don't even have to be. Here's the thing. They got a plan. So we ran their labs, all that good stuff. I gave them a plan. I didn't hear from them for 6 weeks. I usually ask for a once-a-week progress report. I like to hear from people. I like to hear about the results. I'm in this for your success story. That's what I look for. I mean, really, that's what gives me the energy. That's what gives me the drive. Writes back 6 weeks later, saying that they are eternally grateful. I mean, these, again, like, this is what I work for. This is what I'd love to hear. And they lost 40 pounds. 40 pounds in 6 weeks. Now, I'm not saying that everyone's going to achieve that. That's a lot of weight loss. But they had a lot of weight to lose. I mean, that's the truth. And the other truth is they hadn't been able to do it before because they didn't know what to measure. That's why I mentioned that. That is the reason why I mentioned that. They didn't know what to measure. So now we have them measuring. I don't have them counting their calories for sure. We never do that. But it gave them a food shopping list. I gave them exercises to do. I say, I honestly don't even really care what you do, but I need you working out every other day. I need you moving your body every other day and walking 10,000 steps. I'm not looking to crush their body. They're going from nothing to something. I'm very happy with that. And then guess what? After they lose 40 pounds, they maybe need to lose another like 20 or 30. Well, if they plateau, great. They're not at the max capacity right now. Now they can do a little bit more of a formal workout. All right? Really, really important. So again, if someone wants to get like, how do I reduce stress? Well, let's work on breathing. Not ready for meditation yet? No problem. Let's work on that walking. Let's work on putting the phone away after 8 p.m. Let's work on getting to bed a little earlier. All of those things. And then supplements. What if their digestion's really weak? Could we use a digestive enzyme? What if their breakfast is typically nothing, or it's cereal, or if it's a muffin or something on the go? Well, then we're making a smoothie. We're using the daily nutritional support powder. They don't eat vegetables. Great. Well, then we're using the daily fruit and vegetable blends. So we're doing things and we're tracking that. Like, how many days a week did you do that? Okay, 5 days. Okay, what happened the other 2 days? Why didn't you do those 2 days? Oh, well, I was traveling, this and that. Okay, well, here's some tips to do it while traveling. You can just bring a blender bottle, like, a shaker bottle, and you can bring your powder. It comes in a very small container. That's why we built it that way. You can bring that. You can just do your powder and water, shake it up, and then get a little bit of fruit, just get some berries and things like that on the side. Most hotels will have berries. Yes, they may not be organic, but it's a whole lot better than getting the French toast or whatever it might be, right? So that's our goal, is that if they were not measuring these things, we couldn't even give them any feedback. So if you're working with a health coach right now, the very best thing you can do for that health coach, keep a journal. Super simple. You don't need to spend your entire day going through it. Just keep some of these parameters. What do we talk about? Today we talked about measuring the weights. Are you improving your weights every single time? If you're doing body weight workouts, good for you. That's fine. Totally great. Increase your reps then, right? Something has to change. Either your reps change or your weight changes. That's pretty much it. And then after 4 weeks, your exercise selection is going to change. All right. Track the things that you do eat. Write that down. Keep a nutrition journal. Not forever. A week, 2 weeks, 21 days. Most people never eat that much different of a meal plan after a week. It's basically the same stuff. It's just rotated in a little different way. Track your steps every day. Track that, all right? How many days a week you're working out. Track that. That's really important. Track your sleep. Again, just the act of tracking gets you better results. That's the truth. And I should have mentioned that at the very beginning. The act of measuring. The act of tracking automatically focuses you more on what you're eating. If you write down every single thing that goes in your mouth, trust me, those Skittles, those Sour Patch Kids, those candies that people bring in the office, they're not going to sneak in as easily. Not if you're honest with yourself. Not if you really have to write those things down. If you make yourself write those things down, trust me, you're going to be less likely to put them in your mouth, especially if you're going to show them to a health coach. That's why we have amazing health coaches on my team. If you are ever interested in health coaching, again, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but if you are ever interested in health coaching, work with a coach. What we do is these great 6-week to 12-week programs. So basically, you can do 12 weeks. You talk with a coach every 2 weeks for 30 minutes. They give you meal plans. They give you accountability. They talk about tracking the things that we're talking about today. You need a coach. If you can't afford to hire a health coach, that's okay as well. Work with an accountability partner. Get a friend of yours who's not going to let you off the hook. Super important, right? It's hard to do things on our own. There's no doubt about it, myself included. That's why I set deadlines for myself. I really do, like in terms of book publishing, whatever it might be. If I make a date, like it has to get to the editor by this date, well, that's a deadline that I kind of self-imposed, but not that, because I'm also paying for an editor, paying for these people to have their time reserved. So again, I really am such an advocate of measuring. And a lot of times when you do have an accountability partner or someone to help you measure or what to track, it's going to be really, really helpful. But again, if it's just you on your own, no problem at all. Go back, listen to the show, write down the things that I talked about, tracking your workout days, tracking your weights, tracking what you put in your mouth, tracking your steps, tracking your sleep, working on your meditation or reading or anything that you can do to relax, and then track your supplements. Take your supplements on a daily basis. If you're not meeting your daily nutritional requirements, it's going to be a real challenge to lose weight. Your body is going to hold on to everything. So at least take a good daily activated multi or use the daily nutritional support powder, or better yet, do what I do. Use the Dr. Cabral daily protocol, which is really simple. It's the best of functional medicine, every micronutrient, right? So every mineral, every vitamin, every antioxidant, the amino acids that you need from pea and rice-based protein. And then you get 22 organic fruits and vegetables. So you get the best of functional medicine and the best of whole food nutrition in a greens powder that's 22 fruits and vegetables. And then, of course, I take my probiotic, which is a dairy-free, vegan, low-histamine probiotic. And again, that's a great starting point, right? But what I want you to do is I want you to start to measure what you do in your life. Once you start measuring, I'm telling you, once you start measuring, just the act of doing that will get you far greater results. Thank you once again for tuning into a Cabral Concept. Really appreciate each and every one of your listens, and please do share this show with anyone you believe it will help. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.